In a word, I was a celebrity without knowing it.
Isn't it
But
funny?
it was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of nice people, and famous people that I never would have done if I were not in magic. But that sealed it. I had to go to conventions. Now this last November. In Massachusetts was the Yankee Gathering, if you've ever heard of the Yankee Gathering, and they're collectors. And it was my 85th Magic Convention since 2005.
Wow. So you're really going to these conventions.
You have no idea. I don't want to know how the tricks are done, but I want the effect. I want to see all that.
Yeah, and it's an interesting thing because as an assistant, you got to learn some secrets, but not all of them.
Right.
And it's funny because as magicians, I think we can all agree, once you get into magic and you learn the secrets, it's hard to experience the one thing that you love, which is magic. So not wanting to know the secrets and going to conventions to see magic, to enjoy it, I think is perfect because you get to enjoy
because
it.
I see so much new magic. It's old, but it's new, and that's what counts. It's the continuing of the magician from the past, giving to the position to the magicians of now, that is so busy and so important.
Yeah.
So there he is.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
Blackstone
This is
there.
Blackstone.
And that's
Yeah.
Leroy Mingus, and it looks like, I guess, a letter.
Well, this is proof that they were together.
Yes.
Now, and also Blackstone wrote this letter to Mingus. He hardly ever put a date on things. It was really hard. He would go like January 10th, period. We didn't know what year.
Yeah.
That's what he did. Yeah. So, but there's no date on this one, and we checked it out. And he mentioned the name Mummy. Now, let me tell you, Blackstone knew hundreds and hundreds of people when he was on the road. When I was with the show, 1947, my first year, the second year, 48, we played the Raja Theater in Reading. And that they were one-nighters, but it was we were here. Mm-hmm. It was marvelous. So Blackstone had a lot of friends, and he would always, after the show, in fact, he hired one guy to be the assistant on the show just to drive him.
Wow.
And he was an assistant, but he also drove
Sure.
because Blackstone really didn't drive his car. He just had somebody else do it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that Mingus and Blackstone were together. But he mentions about a mummy. Now, Blackstone, when I joined the show, had a mummy. And it was an empty mummy case that was rolled out on the stage and then opened up, and there was nobody in there, nothing. So he would close it, and he would open it up, and there was a mummy in there. And he took the mummy out, and he would dance with the mummy on stage. Mm-hmm. And then he would put the mummy back in and turn it around, open it up, and it's a girl inside in a beautiful white gown or an Egyptian costume or something. But he did have a mummy in his show.
So that might be the
reference.
reference, yeah. So they must have had some conversation
right.
about the mummy, and that's...
Well,
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
So what does it exactly say?
Okay, the letter reads, "Live, laugh, and love. There will come a day when you will break your wand. Remember, the mummy hasn't had any fun for more than 5,000 years." And I never knew what the mummy reference was to until
and
today.
I can vouch for it. That is definitely Blackstone's signature.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Was the mummy a real person when he danced with it on stage?
Pardon me?
When he danced with the mummy, was that a real person? Or was it just
No, it was a mummy. It was just something
figure.
that made of cloth and thread and stuff, and with a skull, with a skull on it for the face.
Wow.
And he would dance with it, just a couple of steps, not much.
And now, how Wayne? You own this, I assume.
Yes,
And for
that
how
came with
long
me.
have you had this?
Since I bought the shop in 1976.
Wow, and you never
so-
knew what that reference was
Never
until
knew
today.
What, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for filling us in on that. That's great.
Thank you, Adele.
Yeah.
You're, a wealth of information.
Magic behind the magic, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Behind the
Magic. That's awesome.